Welcome back to Wing Wong Wednesday. What up, derps? Like the video.
Derapy. Welcome back to your favorite Drake channel. Our first story, Labrie State Graham talking about boxing with the boogeyman. He's on stream with Aiden Ross. By the way, in case you didn't know, Drake is a streamer. And he's on stream with Aiden, and they're discussing what it would take to get the 37-year-old certified boxer boy into the ring.
No.
How much? What's the bag to get you in there?
What's the bag?
Yeah.
Who do you want? Oh, I don't even ask.
Eddie, we.
Who do you want me to fight?
Oh, I know who I want you to fight.
Nah. This man is terrified to even say that pipsqueak's name. Kung Fu Kenny's really out here like the Baba Yaga.
I wouldn't do that. If we're fighting, we'll fight at Hino's gym or something like behind closed garage doors.
Yeah, you don't gotta really.
We'll fight at a gym behind closed garage doors? Yeah, dog, I don't know. I got my money on Young Dot, I'm not gonna lie. Drake does have reach and maybe he has some power, but sometimes fighting is about being a dog.
Bark.
And I just don't think Mr. For All Your Pups has got that wolf in him. You know what I mean? Kendrick grew up in Compton. He has been squabbled up. I really think that means something, having actual experience in a physical hand-to-hand combat situation before. I do not think that Drake has the resume for this potential opportunity. I saw some people out here like analyzing boxing footage, and I am politely asking us all to just be serious. The Drizzler would be looking for ghost fighters along with ghost riders if it actually came down to it. Y'all let me know though. I mean, I could be wrong. You know, sometimes I think I'm cooking, but I'm actually tripping. And for the record, we do need this. I would love to have this happen. Like, forget all this Jake Paul celebrity boxing nonsense, knocking out retired basketball players, KSI trying to fight retired footballers. It's nonsense. I need these artists to get in the ring and settle their differences, okay? I personally would pay upwards of $100 for a pay-per-view of Labrie getting chopped down by Mr. Morale. It would be the fight of the century. It would be the fight of the century. Unfortunately, we just have this clip, and in this clip, Drake is in fact
A Wing Wong.
Say his name, you geek. Also, speaking of geeks, LeBron relaunched his podcast, Mind the Game, with Steve Nash, two-time Kobe MVP stealing Steve Nash. Okay, that's mean. He was a head coach. He seems like a very smart basketball player and a sweet guy. But today,
He's a Wing Wong.
here's my one and only exhibit.
Started playing basketball, fell in love with it. Like the first Air Jordan 1, Spike Lee commercials.
There it go. Now it's coming out.
Right
now
when
it's
I was
coming out.
in the
Now
8th
it's
grade,
coming
right
out.
when I started playing.
I might be blaming LeBron a little bit for this because look, I had an ex-girlfriend a while ago teach me this thing called active listening, but LeBron is really hyping this man up while he's giving his experience, and he gets very comfortable, which leads to him saying this.
7th grade, summer going into 8th grade. I was like, this world's amazing. And then, I mean, let's also just be real. Like, I wanted to be black.
You what?
Hey. Let's not go too heavy on our boy Stevie.
Wing Wong White Day.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be black too.
What?
But in all seriousness, I'm very glad that the Mind Your Game pod is back. I really enjoyed it initially with LeBron and JJ Redick actually talking about the actual game of basketball, which is very clearly missing in today's sports media climate. I'm pretty sure the last thing I saw ESPN talking about was Stephen A. Smith and Isaiah Thomas complaining about LeBron not wearing a shirt when he was warming up for his basketball game, but they also have cameras in the locker room where like dudes are literally fresh out the shower. None of it makes sense anymore, but if every once in a while we have to have some white dude saying that he used to wish he was black just in order for us to get them actually talking about hoops, that's a sacrifice that I am willing to make. But Steve Nash, come on, dog.
Wing Wong.
I'm gonna be honest, as somebody that's been black for 28 years, it served me pretty well. I've been having a pretty good time. So like, I get it, but like, you just gotta keep that shit to yourself, dog. Next, we have a tweet that is about Candace. My bad. I make that mistake all the time. Next, we have a tweet about Candace Owens. This is from a @Keep6Solid. I wonder who they might be a fan of musically. The tweet reads, if Candace Owens goes down the UMG/Drake rabbit hole, she's gonna end Ken's career. Y'all hear that? Disgraced former employee of Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, has the power, influence, and skill to single-handedly take apart Kendrick Lamar's career.
Wing Wong.
I don't even feel like this is really worth dissecting. I'm not really sure what the implication here is. I think this is just Candace Owens glazing and Kendrick hating. Just really, two very interesting things that you just don't expect to collide in a single tweet. But what can I say? That's
Wing Wong Wednesday.
Next, we have a quick message from our fearless leader, our executive in chief, the President of the United States, talking about his physical and mental fitness. Here's the clip.
Very low IQ president. And by the way, I took my cognitive exam as part of my physical exam.
Oh, he took his cognitive exam as part of his physical exam. That's interesting. I'd love to hear more about that.
And I got the highest mark, and one of the doctors said, "Sir, I've never seen anybody get that kind of, that was the highest mark."
Wow. Trump says that he got the highest mark on the cognitive test. I wonder what that is. That's pretty impressive stuff. I wonder how he's going to describe how well he did on this test. I mean, he did say he got the highest mark on this cognitive test. That's part of his physical test. Let's hear a little bit more detail, Mr. Trump.
I hope you're happy with that. Although they haven't been bugging me too much to take a cognitive, but I did do my physical and it was released. I hope you're all happy with it. I notice there's no question, so probably you are.
He hasn't really given them a chance to ask any questions, but you know, he's the president. He's in command of the room. I'm gonna let him yap.
But the cognitive, they said to me, "Sir, would you like to take a cognitive test?" I said, "Did Biden take one?" "No." "Did anybody take one?" "No, not too many people took them." I said, what about Obama? Did he take one?" "No, he didn't take one either." I said,
Wow, you're doing really well, Mr. Trump. You really sound like your mind is in tip-top shape. I mean, what a skilled orator. Very impressive stuff so far. Please do continue. I'm having a great time.
"Let me be the only one to take one." But I've actually taken them 3 times already. I like taking them because they're not too tough for me to take.
Wow, Trump sounds exactly the way that I did in 3rd grade because I was so good at the multiplication tables. He's like, I love the cognitive tests so much. They're so easy that I took 3 of them. I mean, nobody asked me to do it, but I mean, one person did ask me to do it. But I mean, you guys aren't asking me about it. But I am gonna tell you that it was part of my physical test, and I did take it 3 times just because they're so fun. I also don't really have anything else important to do. Oh wait, I'm the president?
Wing Wong.
Next, we have, it's a clip from ESPN. Now, I don't know if you all knew this, but when I originally went to college to get my degree in multimedia journalism, I actually planned on working for ESPN. I wonder what they're up to these days. I actually found this clip, it seems, in our Discord where Stephen A. Smith is asking Marcus Morris about his opinion on the Memphis Grizzlies basketball team. Let's listen to a little bit of that conversation.
Like this, Draymond will have to hold them down defensively, but if the whole team plays together, I think the Warriors eke this one out.
Yeah, and I gotta agree with both of you guys. I mean, I think it will be a really tough game. I really like the Grizzlies. Like the YNs, they really come into play, right? Like,
I'm sorry, sir. Did you just say the YNs? Let me listen back to that.
the YNs, they really come into play, right? Like,
you know what's so interesting? You know, back in college, I spent 4 years learning how to write and research and communicate and create graphics and shoot video and do interviews and write scripts and be presentable on camera, learn how to dress, how to set up lavalier mics, how to do blocking, how to change camera settings, how to, you know, structure a show. But I never quite made it to the big screen, right? But I'm really glad that people like Marcus Morris, whose qualifications include playing basketball, I'm so glad that all the kids that grew up loving sports but weren't quite good enough to play them don't have to worry about having a spot on ESPN, because we could always just have Marcus Morris talking about how the Memphis Grizzlies have YNs. I think that's really good for the network. I think it shows a great commitment to professionalism. Good job, Disney.
Wing Wongs.
According to ABC News, a Florida woman was arrested for selling human remains on Facebook Marketplace.
Wing Wong.
The owners of a Florida curio shop have been arrested for selling human remains on Facebook Marketplace, according to the Orange City Police Department. Kimberly Shopper, name spelled Kymberlee, Shopper, 52, and Ashley Ashley's last name is spelled Lelesi.
Something about them Florida girls, brother.
This is something I haven't seen in the 17 years that I've worked for this agency. Orange City Police Department Captain Sheriff El Shami told ABC News Orange City is located about a half hour north of Orlando. Police began looking into Shopper's store, Wicked Wonderland, back in December of 2023 when they received a tip regarding a business within the city, quote-unquote, attempting to sell human bones. The tip included images from the store's Facebook page, which advertised various human bones for sale, complete with pricing. Lock them up!
Wing Wong.
Why are y'all out here buying bones?
Who is y'all?
Next, according to USA.Inquirer.net, a priest is suing gay dating app Grindr, not aware of their arbitration agreement. The Catholic, who alleges in a lawsuit that Grindr's improper sharing of his private information has derailed his hope to be a bishop, says in new court papers that he had no idea when he began using the gay dating app that he would be required to arbitrate any disputes. It is tough out here for the priest.
God bless him. Yo Wing Wong.
In 2021, a Catholic media site, The Pillar, reported that Jeffrey had been using the app and he subsequently had to step down from his position as the General Secretary of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, according to his Los Angeles Superior Court lawsuit. This man is really out here suing because he got outed as a priest. That's tough. That's tough. And obviously, you know, kind of ironic for reasons that I feel like I don't need to explain. Next, we have Katy Perry kissing the ground after returning from her 11-minute flight to space. I actually had to do that take so many times over, and I still laughed every time just trying to say that Katy Perry went to space. Long story short, in case you didn't know, Katy Perry got blasted into space. Her, Gayle King, some other extremely rich people. This story doesn't really matter, obviously, but I do think it's kind of hilarious that she came back down to this dirty earth after like a dozen minutes or so. Okay, she was up in space for less time than it takes for me to like make a pizza. It was kind of crazy though, like because she tweeted right before she went up, and it was just all caps, "I love you." I was like, oh man, the red flags are all over this one. But look, going up to space, if you get the opportunity, I'm sure it's really cool, but it's also just like kind of silly and people shouldn't really care. And it's kind of just like a gross display of wealth from everybody involved. So
Wing Wong.
it's not like she was stranded up there for like a year or something and she finally just touched back down to earth. Like, bro, you weren't up there as long as recess lasts. Next, we have Krishan, who used to be sparring partners with this rapper named Blueface. She was actually on Angel Reese's podcast because everybody has a podcast and everybody should. They were discussing pay differences between the NBA players and the WNBA players, and Krishan had this to say to Angel Reese about LeBron James.
Us getting paid our worth, period. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're doing exactly what LeBron is doing, so what's...
Sorry. I had a script. Just forget it. Shout out Angel Reese, by the way. No hate to Angel Reese at all, because the second Krishan said, "You doing the same thing LeBron is doing," Angel said, "You what?
You what?
I don't really see a reason for Krishan to do this when it would be just as easy for her to just get a tattoo that goes from the top of her neck all the way down to her behind that simply reads, "I've never watched a game of professional basketball before in my entire life, and I never will," I guess? This is kind of like the equivalent of saying that I, the Derapy guy, should be getting paid just as much as Elon Musk because we both do be on Twitter like all day.
Wing Wong.
I do believe that every single WNBA player should be getting paid more than enough money to where they absolutely don't have to do anything besides play basketball. Like, point blank, period. They're putting on a show. Fans are showing up for the games. People are buying their jerseys, and they are working extremely hard to put on an entertaining game and put out a entertaining product. But It is a simple math problem like many things in life are, okay? NBA makes more money, their players make more money. The WNBA doesn't make as much money, so the players don't make as much money. It's actually not really that controversial at all when you think about it. I know that some people are probably really upset because they know that athletes like Caitlin Clark are probably making way more money than other WNBA players, and to that I say, skill issue. Get better at basketball, be so much better than everybody else and so phenomenally skilled at the game and be so fun to watch that people can't help but just throw money at you. It's really not that complicated. Angel Reese is actually kind of crushing it off the court as far as getting a bag. I'm pretty sure she had a McDonald's deal. She has a deal with Reese's Pieces. Angel Reese, Reese's Pieces. I mean, that's genius. Great for her. But like at the end of the day, let's stop. I know, coming from me, this is crazy, but stop pocket watching. Also, Krishan,
Wing Wong.
someone stole 600 pounds of marijuana from a police evidence lot.
Who?
The drugs were stolen on April 1st. I promise the story's real. The drugs were stolen on April 1st from a trailer that had been sitting in the evidence lot for 2 years. They had that much za just sitting there. Sorry, I'm gonna be a real journalist. The property where state police stores evidence is in the city of Inglewood, but its exact location is a secret. However, someone managed to find it. Colonel Matthew Packard with Colorado State Patrol said on April 1st, someone broke through a fence and into a trailer containing roughly 600 pounds of za. This is just a backlot where we have some of our vehicles, and in this case, this trailer that was being stored back there. The trailer and its contents had been seized about 2 years ago as part of a highway drug investigation. Highway. It was actually in queue for destruction at the time, but it was being... Wait. They were just gonna destroy it?
Come on, cuz. You can't think that's okay to admit.
Packard is hoping that they can track down the suspects and the hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of marijuana that was scheduled to be destroyed. Colonel Matthew Packard, Chief Colorado State Patrol. That's a significant amount of marijuana that went back out on the street. And our job is to make sure that our community is safe. God forbid these people get a little green. God forbid the homies get a little get a little devil's lettuce. A little ganja, kush, chronic, dank, loud, shroom, little herb nug, a roach or something, sinsemilla, jumpman, ditchweed, grass, swag, a little bit of Skywalker. Y'all are hating, bro. Let him cook. Officer Packard, you are in fact
Wing Wong.
Our next post actually has a YouTuber formerly known as What's the Dirt, now currently known as Maddie Knows Beers Magoo. Somebody was giving him feedback about some content that he had created in the past. They said, "A bitter hater you are. Still bitter about the backlash you got after the Family Matters breakdown." Magoo would reply, "Nah, that's going to end up aging to be my best video." Here is the video that he is referring to.
And what's also really clever here is that Drake is 37 years old, and he says the N-word 37 times on this track. And I believe his reasons for doing this is he's basically saying the word for every year that he's been alive.
Wing Wong.
Thank you so much for always contributing to a great episode of
Wing Wong Wednesday.
Every single week, we gather here sometime on a Wednesday and we decide to hold people accountable. I am submitted stories by members of our channel in our Discord. If you would like to submit stories for Wing Wong Wednesday, then by all means, consider joining the Derps for $1. You can become a member of the channel, support the show, spread the bread, hop in the Discord, use the correct channel, etc., etc. Or you know what? You don't even have to pay me for real. Follow me on Twitter at Derapy_, and if you see anything that you think is worthy of making the show, then simply mention me at Derapy_ with the hashtag
Wing Wong Wednesday.
That's all I got for you all today. Consider joining the Patreon as well as becoming a member. Love you, mean it, spread the bread, enjoy the outro. $400 in my bank account. Buddy, I'm not bothered if you don't think it's a great amount. I've been working like a dog, so I'ma make each dollar count. Now we'll stay locked in this room like it's hooky, I'm calling out. Who's he calling out? I'm the greatest, I don't care, it's all relative. Hit me on the snap, call me bro, we not relatives. Ops got these bars that got me snoozing, it's a sedative. And if you sleeping on me like you're Biden, we'll buy then. Over your head like it's Delta, not the variant. I'm a king, where's my chariot? And who carries it?
Why does my back hurt, man? I'm 25.
I'm getting older, getting tight. My hand to God is do or die. There's not a chance I'm too alive. I'm Willow Smith. I caught a vibe. You jaded. I'm like Jade, man. I love my dad. I'm not that guy. Struggle with the suit and tie, but I'm on a different grind. Got the same genes, but we grew up different, you and I.